afternoon. Call to order the regular meeting of the Tiki Island City Council on Tuesday, October the 21st, 2025 at 6 p.m. in the Public Safety Building. Roll call. Telchik here. Neblett.
Here.
Haley.
Here.
Cunningham.
Here.
Muscat.
Here.
Walker.
Here.
Would y'all please stand and say the pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Be seated. Citizen comments on agenda items only. Must be signed in on sign-up sheet, limited to 2 minutes.
I have a couple of constructive comments. Is it me? Did you call me?
Alan Scott?
Okay. You know, I was looking at this change to $100,000 for the mayor. It raises an interesting question to me, is that on any road projects or I shouldn't say that word, bulkhead projects or any kind of construction type things, at $100,000 you have to have performance bonds. So if Goldie was to approve, I'm sorry, I should have said mayor, just kidding. If the mayor approves a $99,000 contract, and this is really, I was hoping Bridget would be here, it's more of a kind of a legal question is.
Bridget's on the phone, go ahead.
Oh, okay. If
Can Bridget hear him?
Yes.
If a $99,000 contract is approved, then you can also increase that contract up to 25%. So if the mayor approves $99,000 and then say another $10,000, does that trigger the requirement for a performance bond?
Did you hear the question?
I did, and even though we're in public comment, I'm going to respond because we do have an item on the agenda on this. It is just because we've increased to the $100,000 threshold, it does not remove any requirements for bonding or anything like that. So we will be sure that all of that is still in place, regardless of the amount.
Okay, so, and then the other thing I looked at, and stop me if some of these comments I made on the, I guess this is the purchasing manual. I guess if that's true, then in the purchasing manual, it probably should say that if a contract approved by the mayor is subsequently increased above 100,000 or above, then it must include performance. And I think they raised payment bonds now to 100,000 or something, if I'm not mistaken. So anyway, just a comment, more of a procedural thing. And then, and Brandy, stop me if you, this is what I printed from Friday, but this page 12 on the manual, this seems redundant to me because it's got the old 3,001 to 50,000, and then it's got 50 to 99. To me, those two should be combined, and they would just be 3,001 to 99, right? 99.
Yeah, that is how the statute got rewritten, is 3,000 to 100,000.
Okay,
So if we want to make that change just to be consistent, we can.
Yeah, and it's just a typo, really. But and Brandy, I'm gonna give you this. I just made some comments, and then down at the bottom under C, on that same page, it says 3,001 to 50,000. So that has to match. And then technically on the next page on 13, D would be deleted and E would become D, I think. And I guess these are some things y'all could just verbally approve and then get them corrected. And then on page 14, under emergency purchases, it says 50,000. I'm assuming that is 100,000.
In excess of 50,000? Is that what you're saying?
Okay, so what we'll have to do is, before we put it into law or whatever, we'll have to make those changes.
That makes sense.
Okay?
I just picked up on that. And then if you go to page 20, at the very top, the title basically of section 1 should say more than 3,000, or it should say 3,001 and less than 99,999.
Actually, it should say less than 100,000 because 99,999.
Oh, yeah.
Can do, so.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's stated again down below, but anyway, that just needs to match the new numbers. Okay.
Okay,
Dude, Bridget got all that.
Richard's got all that. She wrote.
And then, on okay, yeah, then on change orders, I've already asked about that. The mayor approves a $99.99, and then a 25% increase. Then the cost of the payment and performance bonds will have to be added to the contract. These are just comments, you're not allowed to say anything, right? But if you go according to what Bridget said, then the contractor will charge the village for the payment and performance bond, which I don't know, is something like 2 or 3%, isn't that? I don't know what it is, it's not, I don't think it's a huge number.
Okay, thank you.
That's all I got to say about it.
Okay, thank you. All right, consent agenda. All items marked with a single asterisk on the consent agenda are considered routine by the city council, be acted upon in one motion. There'll be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member requests it. A, approval of minutes of September 16, 2025 regular meeting. B, payment of bills for September 2025 and investment officer report for September 2025.
Motion to approve.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Mayor and Alderman's reports. Reports are limited to the items of community interest as defined by Texas Local Government Code Section 551.0415. No action will be taken. Mayor's report. Tony is going to give the mayor's report in his report that we've done today. Alderman's report. Neblett.
Nothing.
Cunningham.
Just a couple months ago, we had a citizen raise concern about lack of liability insurance for contractors, and I don't think we've done anything other than maybe had a conversation about it. So I'd like to suggest maybe we book a meeting to
What do you want?
workshop
Workshop.
to start those discussions and see what we need to do. I can get with Brandy to try to get something scheduled.
Yeah.
That's it. I'll save the other for the front.
Okay. All right. Haley.
Mine's coming up in 7, so I'm good.
Okay. Muscat.
We've started the process on the breakwater litigation. It's gonna be a drawn-out process. Might take between 1.5 to 2 years, but we've started the process, and I'll keep y'all updated as we progress.
Thank you. Walker.
Let's talk about ARC. So we received the October bill from ARC, Galveston County Health District Animal Resource Center. It was quite surprising. It was much more than we anticipated. I had several follow-ups, both with the CEO and the CFO in our ARC. The bottom line is they've had multiple years of fiscal mismanagement. They are severely in the hole, in the red, essentially on the budget. The model they're going to use this year, they're doing a one-time allocation out to basically different districts. They're using the same fiscal model they have in the past, field and shelter. The change for this year is they're doing an allocation of a straight up $25K to basically what is the 4 smallest communities, which is Kima, us, Bayou Vista, and Clear Lake Shores. We did put additional money in the budget. When we did the budget, Brandy actually put in an additional $10K, thinking it would be for a shelter charge. They're not building a new shelter yet. They basically need to fiscally get their house in order. Everyone's been fired that was associated with what went on the last several years. They're several years into the audit. The bottom line is $25K, so we're going to be about $10K short. We've talked about this, probably going to have funds to cover it, which we'll be able to do. We still do not have a contract from them yet, and I have informed them that we're not going to pay our bill until we have a contract in hand. So as I'm sure the other communities will do as well.
And monthly.
Excuse me?
Monthly.
They'll do it, so they'll charge us monthly. Yeah, but the $25K is for the year, 25-26 fiscal year. Essentially, this increases us from what was field, which was about $200 a month, to $650. No. It's going to be, yeah, field went from $232 to $625. Shelter went from $205 to $1450 a month. So that's basically how they're, yes, exactly. So our bill is going to be $25,000 for this year, when normally it's more like about $5,200.
What did they bill for the non-smallest I mean, are we,
They're getting hit very hard as well.
Yeah.
So the way they do it typically, and we can have a follow-up conversation about this on the funding model. The funding model is similar. Each community's absorbed additional costs because the way our funding model would work, there's no way we would actually, because our census is low and then the shelter part is based on just usage, how much you use it. They would not be able to pass the entirety of this shortfall on to basically what would be Texas City, Hitchcock, and the unincorporated Galveston actually pays the largest amount. And then Texas City is second after them. Their finance committee is the one that decided for the 4 smaller communities to do a flat 25K because there was no way for them to manipulate the fiscal model to basically pull up a short charge without saying we're going to pass all this on to 2 communities. We had no input to the fiscal model, which we're not happy about, and they've gotten feedback from all the 4 small communities that they weren't happy about not being able to have feedback with the finance committee when this decision was made.
is it fiscal mismanagement or was there?
Yes.
So we didn't get into that particular part of the conversation. What I do know is they moved money around between entities under the health district, which they are not allowed to do. So there was some, whether or not it's criminal and it's being prosecuted, I didn't ask that question. She was very forthcoming. The new CFO actually lives here on Tiki. She was very open about it.
But no chance of recovery to minimize the 25K?
It does not go that way. So, but they do know that we've said until the new contract, we don't have a contract yet. So the old contract is started in September. We have not seen a new one yet. It's with the lawyers right now, is the response that I have gotten. I emailed her again today, telling her that basically we're not comfortable paying our bill until we have a contract in place.
Well,
So
we
know
can't pay her bill.
Exactly.
until we have a contract in place. Not that we're not comfortable.
She knows that.
We can't.
She knows that, yeah, because they've gotten the same feedback from the other communities. Nobody's gonna pay their bill until they have a contract.
But they're still providing services?
They are still providing services. So that's the bottom line.
All right. Thank you. Reports and presentation, fire department.
Okay, we had a total of 19 calls for the month, 9 medical, 1 lift assist, 3 motor vehicle accidents, 1 fire alarm, 1 minor fire, which was a dumpster fire, construction dumpster, 1 assist PD, and 2 good intent. The 2 good intents were people trapped in elevators on the island. I have a couple other things, just communications to share with you all. I don't know if you're aware of some of the trouble Bayou Vista's been having. They had the resignation of the mayor, at least 1 alderman recently, and having some financial trouble.
Yes.
And that financial trouble has hit the Bayou Vista Fire Department to the point where the city is starting to cut, or the village of Bayou Vista is starting to cut funding to their fire department. So the fire department has been forced to start to reduce their coverage, meaning they're not going to have a paid firefighter on duty every day. They're going to start with 1 or 2 days with no paid professional firefighter, and depending on where the village ends up with their funding, they could take paid completely away. The other piece that they're going to do is, based on the cut coverage, is they're very likely to stop being a first responder organization, meaning the fire department will only go to fires and highway wrecks. They won't go for lift assist. They won't go, when somebody's having a heart attack, people at Bayou Vista are just going to have to wait for the ambulance to show up. So I tell you this just because I think we're going to hear a lot of noise, and it doesn't affect us. We're not going to be picking up coverage or anything, but they've got a lot of troubles on their hands. So just FYI, in case you hear that. Now with some really good news. Our fire department has received a fantastic grant from the Texas A&M Fire Service, or Forest Service, excuse me, for $300,000. And that is to go towards the purchase of a new fire engine to replace the old one we have downstairs, E1, or Linda Jo as she's well known. She's 24 years old and is the reserve engine. And the grant we were awarded, $300,000, is available for 1 year for us to use it. So our plan was to replace the old E1 in about 3 to 4 years, but this grant has obviously accelerated that, and we plan to purchase a already built commercial engine, which will be in the range of $500,000 to $525,000 total. Just to give you a comparison, that commercial engine at $500,000, the new one we bought 2 years ago, we paid $700,000 for it roughly, and that same $700,000 engine is almost $1 million today. Our plan is to purchase this with the grant funds, cash we have on hand, the trade-in of the old engine, and potentially a small loan. But here's the really good news. This purchase will not affect the emergency fee on the water bill. We've got enough in reserves and through our plans to cover it. So really, really good news for us, and just accelerates replacing that old engine. A little fact, A&M was awarded a lot of money from the legislature, and last week they awarded $164 million in Texas for 558 new fire trucks. And one of those we got. So
Is all that grant money coming strictly through the state? It's not tied up in the federal government? That's going to go to the state and then they're going to say, okay.
correct, it's all state,
All
because
state money.
the old FEMA money through forestry that we could apply for came with a lot of strings. Like if there's a forest fire somewhere, Colorado or something, and if you took that grant for one of those engines, you were somewhat obligated to send that truck and firefighters to that fire. This one through the state, there are no strings. We don't have to do any of that. The main thing is they have certain specs minimum specs that they want on the truck. And the theory behind it is there's so many small rural departments in Texas that are underfunded and have really old or not enough engines, is why they funded this. And they actually have more money to award in addition to that $164 million. They just have been really slow in getting it done. So it's good news and free money for TPI. So just wanted to share that.
Okay, thank you. Police report.
Calls for the month of September 2025. 5 alarm calls, 43 agencies assist, 7 citizens assist, 1 civil matter, 1 community outreach, 8 fire EMS, 1 delivering, dumping, 1 loud music, 1 open door, 1 recovered property, 3 silent 911s, 1 suspicious circumstances, 3 suspicious person, 1 undesirable call, 1 warrant of arrest on view, 3 welfare checks, 22 traffic stop citations, 48 traffic stop warnings, 3 total arrests, and a total of 82 calls.
Thank you. Emergency management report. No, wait a minute, the building inspector report is in the package. Emergency management report.
It is still hurricane season. That's actually a tropical storm, Melissa, as of now. Spaghetti and Marshall shall be going north towards Cuba, east coast. So that's another picture from this morning.
The white pelicans are here, so that means hurricane season's over for us.
It's not over. November 30th.
Faithfully.
I need the rain, it needs to come on.
This
I said
Saturday,
storm. Yeah.
Tiki Halloween party at the pavilion. Be assisting with that. I'll be PD, EMC stuff. September the 18th. I'm sorry, not September. It's going to be November the 20th. The Texas City Lamarck Community Advisory Council has their next meeting. It's going to be with BWC Terminals. Is going to be doing the presentation on that. Then my next out of town stuff on the EMC side is the cybersecurity. It's a 3-day class. It's basically going through a cyber incident from beginning to end. And computer cyber. Also working with Galveston County on our evacuation reentry plan that they're updating. We're gonna have a tabletop exercise with that, with what we've got in place with that plan, December 11th. We'll have, there's some language in it that's gonna have to be changed before the mayor signs off on it, but I'll be working through that. That's all I have.
All right, thank you. Animal control is in the package. October update is in the package. General business and action items, Mayor Telchik to administer oath of office to Assistant Police Chief Michael Bergen. Michael, stand up, please.
He's all dressed up.
Yeah, you'll see it's pretty spiffy.
Okay, you repeat it for me. Okay, you don't have to say this first. Okay, raise your right hand. In the name and by the authority of the state of Texas, I
Michael Bergen,
do solemnly swear or affirm that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of Assistant Chief of the Village of Tiki Island Police Department.
do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of Assistant Police Chief of the Village of Tiki Island Police Department
Of the state of Texas, and will do my best of my ability to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and of this great state. So help me God.
of the state of Texas, and will to the best of my ability preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state. So help me God.
Thank you.
Oh, that's the picture you do. Yeah, that's the picture. She's, okay,
Get after it, Haley. Come on now.
we need to do this again.
We'll just pretend like you're doing it.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. B, discuss and take possible action to approve resolution to authorize the mayor to approve certain contracts under $100,000 to reflect the changes with SB 1173 from the 89th legislative session, which increased the requirement for competitive sealed bids from 50,000 to 100,000. May I get a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Motion to discuss. This is
Okay, go ahead.
what we talked about earlier in the citizen comments. If that gets addressed, I do a motion to approve, but not, I think just as long as that gets addressed for what we're talking about.
That's C.
That's okay.
Let's see.
Oh, I didn't item. Okay.
Oh, got it.
Let's see if they have some comments on that.
That would help if I flip the page. Then yes, motion to approve. Sorry.
Second?
Second.
I have
All
some-
in favor?
Can I have a discussion?
Okay, go ahead.
On section 5, could we say the mayor, the village of Tiki Island shall report monthly to the board of aldermen? Just so if we have an expenditure that we do, you just tell us.
If I have a expenditure, yes. we
Yes,
should.
we just add, report monthly.
Mhm. And Bridget, you got all the notes that were said a while ago?
Yes.
Okay.
And do we want to make comments on the whole deal, or is that, we're talking about that as C?
I heard we were talking about that as C.
Yeah, that's
Just
C.
literally, it was just to approve to go from the 50 to 100. We still need to actually do a vote. We got a motion to approve. And
We have a second.
But I said yes.
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. All right, C, discuss and take possible action to amend the village procurement policy approved on September 17, 2024 to comply with the Senate Bill 1173, which raises the threshold for competitive sealed bids effective September 1st, 2025 from 50,000 to 100,000. May I get a motion to discuss?
Motion to discuss.
Okay, go ahead.
Under page 5, it talks about the village council, and it repeats throughout the number that goes from village council to board of aldermen. So I'd like to see all the references to village council be board of aldermen. So that was started on page 5. I noticed several of those. And then there's more changes coming. It was on page 11 as well. There were several references. And on page 13, it talks about a village finance manager shall approve stuff.
We don't have a finance manager.
Should we
Be
change that
removed.
to somebody else?
Just remove it.
And then page 14, there was a reference to the village council as well. And
So
I've
you-
got that same 50,000 comment.
So I assume everywhere where it says village council, that needs to be changed to Board of Alderman.
Yes.
So literally a search and find throughout the document to change all this.
And then on 14, excess of 100,000, not 50,000.
Right, the changes that were discussed
Right.
earlier.
Yeah. and
Okay, yeah, I'll clean those up and then make all the changes that, you know, that are warranted to reflect the new bill, so.
All right, that's all I have.
And then you had the comments from the citizen comments in there also.
Yes, so your motion can just be, you know, to approve as
As-
amended tonight, and I'll get that to Brandy tomorrow.
Okay.
Make the motion to approve as amended tonight for our comments.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. D, discuss and take action to appoint Alderman Tony Muscat. Huh? Oh, we got a second.
Okay, second.
Actually, second, Hunter's.
Yes.
Yeah, there was a second.
And then we had all in favor.
Yep.
Okay. You caught up now?
Yes,
Okay.
just give me a second, sorry.
Discuss and take action to appoint Alderman Tony Muscat as representative to the Houston Galveston Area Council and Alderman Barry Haley as an alternate. Can I get a motion to approve?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Citizen comments, limited to 2 minutes.
Start the clock now. This is a totally different subject, but I have a comment as a private citizen that, tongue in cheek, a private marina has been built over on Palmetto. Don't stare at me. A homeowner has turned a residential lot, and it's all platted as one. But essentially, a full residential lot is turned into a double-wide, two-boat, inland boat house, turning into a boathouse. And it turns out that there's potential for having 4 boats parked there. 1 in the original boathouse, 2 in the marina, and 1 on the outside of the dock. Like you can park a boat out there. So what came to mind, this is no reflection on that person. They asked for what they wanted and they got it. You know, a lot of boat parking. The people that live directly adjacent to it aren't exactly excited about it. But I looked in Tiki deed restrictions for Section 5 and also the Tiki ordinances, and I didn't find any reference in any of that to how many boats a person could permanently moor at their house. And so I'm just suggesting to the Board of Aldermen that you might look into something along those lines. I know we've hammered this boat ordinance like fine copper. There's just one single little thing was left out. We got the boathouse length, width, height, location, and all that. But what it doesn't say is how many boats you can put at your house. And so I thought the board, I can't even think of the ordinance review committee might want to look at the possibility of modifying section 136. And then there's another section, 28-25, which is like the operation of boats. I didn't really look much into that before, but it says it relates to parking of boats, and it says you can park 1 boat adjacent to it says shoreline currently, but I would propose to change that to shoreline or bulkhead. And then, actually it says you can park 2 boats like parallel to each other at a bulkhead. But if you have a boathouse, then it's understood you'll have a boat under the boathouse and you can park another boat outside it. And so the typical house on Tiki is gonna have one either single or double boathouse. We have a lot of boathouses that are double, you enter them from each end. So one of the suggestions I had was that the ordinance might say that each property can only have one boathouse with a capacity for 2 boats. Or you could have 2 boathouses with a capacity for 1 boat each. So that gives you a total of 2 boats either way. And then it would actually end up, you could actually, if you had some sort of a motor yacht or whatever, you could also park a 3rd boat out in the water tied up to that. And so an ordinance might say that, you know, the boathouses, you can discuss whether you think it's First Amendment rights to build a boathouse or whatever, but I think that as a minimum, we should determine how many boats a person should be able to dock, to moor at their house permanently. I understand everybody has crawfish boils and all that stuff, and might have 9 boats out there, but as far as what's permanently at a house, I personally think 3 is more than enough for any house in Tiki. So, and it's wide open right now. I read it, the ordinance, both ordinances, and the Tiki Section 5 anyway. There's no limit to how many boats you can have. So just thought I'd bring that up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other citizen comments? Motion to adjourn?
Just as a private citizen comment, National Night Out was awesome. Thank you, Tiki. Thanks everybody that participated. That was great to have everybody out there. That's all I'll say.
Motion adjourned.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion approved. Thank you.